All right, and we are live. Yes, we are on both platforms on X and Binance Live. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, dude. My name is Dale, and I'm going to be your host for this event. This is the celebration, all right? This is not a normal AMA VSC Daily anymore. This is a celebration of PAW Chain's second anniversary. That's why we're streaming this on both X and Binance Live. All right, so I'm going to be multitasking over here, all right? So if there is anything going on, let me know in the comments, right? In the X broadcast, and also if you're watching this on Binance Live, let me know in the comments, right? Immediately, and I'll try to fix it. Okay. But yeah, it's been quite some time since we have like a double stream like this, but I'm having fun, dude. I hope you guys are having fun too, because today is Thursday. Bitcoin is sort of like recovering a little bit. So I hope that your bags are doing okay. All right, and be careful, be safe in this market. You never know what's gonna happen, so just be safe for me. All right. All right, and this opportunity for this day, we're going to be talking to Brian. All right. He's from the Genesis team from PAW Chain. PAW Chain has been up and running for 2 years now. This is second year. They have amazing technology where they're trying to build a liquidity layer called the layer 3 of PAW Chain, combining all of the previous layers that they have built into one. And this liquidity layer promises to provide like instant liquidity, one of the top liquidity and multi-chain. So basically, they are integrating a lot of chains, including Solana, EVM, or non-EVM, you name it, right? I believe they are now at about 10 or 11 chains already. So that's amazing. Okay. So in this AMA, what we're going to do is we're going to be obviously answering some of your hottest questions. And then we're going to reward you with $200. All right. So $100 will be spent for the 5 best questions that we can find either on Binance Live or on X. We prefer Binance Live, right? So if you have any questions, send it on Binance Live. And the remaining $100 will be spent also for the people on Binance Live, right? So it's going to be in the form of a crypto box where you answer a simple quiz and you get the money inside. And if you are an X user, we'll try to, interact with you even more. So if you have any questions right now, just put it in the comments and we'll answer as the AMA goes. Okay. So that's how it is. Thank you very much once again for being here with us. And let me not, delay this AMA anymore and welcome Brian from PAW Chain to the stage. All right, here we go. Brian, you are live with BSC Daily. How are you doing today?
I am doing fantastic, man. Excited to be here. Excited to celebrate our 2 year anniversary of when we launched, what we started to build, and to see it all come to fruition and be here 2 years later is quite the accomplishment in the space. And I couldn't be more excited. I'm looking forward to what the future holds, obviously, but what we've accomplished with this first of its kind technology and blockchain has been truly impressive, and it's just really awesome to see it all take shape after being a part of it for so long, kind of like building it and then releasing it, and then everything coming together, adding chains, doing all those things you were talking about earlier. We're a truly unique product, and we offer a service that simply doesn't exist yet in the space.
Wow.
And I'm very, very excited for it. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. I couldn't be happier to be here.
That's an amazing intro. I'm sure that the people watching right now is also very, very happy and very thrilling to be seeing you on the screen and basically learning and getting to know PAW Chain. I mean, if you are not familiar with PAW Chain, follow them on their X right now. The link is in the description of the stream, right? Or you can, basically follow them on PAW Chain. They're very famous. So okay, before we talk about PAW Chain and your second year anniversary, let's first of all introduce ourselves a little bit. So yeah, just quickly, who are you and what PAW Chain is in brief?
Well, I'm Brian. I'm a member of the PAW Chain Genesis team and a member of our marketing team. A little bit about my background. I got exposed to the space in 2018. A friend told me about something called Bitcoin. And obviously, I've heard about it, but never really did my research, decided to go in and was a Bitcoin maxi for the longest time, just literally set and forget it. I would start buying back in, like I said, 2018 and never really paid attention to it, just hodled it. And it was up till about 2 years ago when I heard about something in the DeFi space. It was actually a meme coin that I asked a friend about. And then that brought me into the space, and he introduced me to PAW Chain and, had this great idea what they were building. And I was just blown away. I'm like, wow, there's an entire world here that I don't understand when it comes to actual blockchain technology. There's so much more than Bitcoin. And what they were building was something that I saw that, could be advantageous to the space. It solves a problem. I always ask myself 3 questions before I get involved in any kind of investment or build. Does it solve a problem? Will I use the product? Will somebody else use the product? And if I say yes to all three, I am very interested. So now for the last 2 years, not only have I dove in deeply into PAW Chain, I've completely immersed myself in this entire space. When it comes to learning about liquidity providing, staking, delegating, like there are so many ways to make passive income in this space. And I've just learned about it all, learned about ZK proofs, all these different technologies, different layers, layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, layer zeros. And what PAW Chain is offering, our solution, is like nothing else. Technically, we are the first of its kind layer 3 centric blockchain. But what really sets us apart is our ability to connect to other networks to allow your liquidity to be available via one liquidity pool. So what I'm talking about is seamless bridging. Everybody here has probably bridged. It's a pain, 3 to 4 transactions. You have to wait multiple minutes, sometimes hours to get your funds. You're sending it to and from multiple wallets. We simplified that process by allowing that liquidity to be available on those networks from that single liquidity pool. So what used to take 3 to 4 clicks now takes 1 click. And, we're going to build on top of this ecosystem with all kinds of dApps, our Paw Wallet apps coming to the app stores sometime, this year. Other things that we've been building, an entire ecosystem to, in the end, we want to be like a Binance, Coinbase, but decentralized, fully decentralized, where it's a one-stop shop where you can buy, send, swap, receive with the click of a button. So that's what we're building. It's never been done before. It's 100% custom built, brand new technology stack to make this space easier and more available. And not only are we focused, obviously, on the crypto side, we're focused on real world use case for the actual blockchain technology itself, the sending of data. And that includes medical records, financial records, educational records. I mean, the list goes on and on. And I think that's what we need to do in the space is focus on not how do we get Web 2 into Web 3, how do we integrate? Because we need them. We need those guys. There's still so much money, so many people on the sidelines, and there just simply hasn't been a network yet to facilitate their needs to make them profitable. I believe our network will offer that profitability to these Web 2 companies and an easy end user experience.
Thank you so much for that lovely introduction. We will be diving deeper into how PAWChain makes that happen with their layer 3 in a little bit, guys. Yeah, again, if you have any questions, prepare them right now. So immediately, right? You've been like you are such an OG in the crypto space, and you get to, got involved with PAWChain 2 years ago when the team introduced you to this amazing technology that you've never heard before. And I think PAWChain is doing a very good job, right? Keeping the technology evolving, right? So a lot of the technologies that you guys are building right now, the layer 3, as you said, have never been done before, and that is surprising to I guess to me as well, because a concept this simple and this, well, not that this simple, but like this necessary, I don't see a lot of people doing, like connecting all the liquidities and seamless bridging from cross chain to one PAW chain, and then use a liquidity on other chains as well. That is very needed. If you look at the prolific layer 1s and layer 2s that we have going on, it's very hard for any user in Web 2 or Web 3, same, to navigate and basically utilize their assets and liquidity in the best way possible. I find myself, after years of being in crypto, I have a little bit of asset here in this layer and a little bit there, like it's all very spreaded all over the place, right? So it's very nice to have like one layer that can centralize, well, not centralize, but like hold all my asset liquidity in, and then I can use that in different shit. So that's perfect. All right, we will be talking about that in a little bit. So yeah, I can get also very excited about this topic too. So the second question that I have for you is, obviously, today is your second anniversary. Happy birthday, PAWChain.
Thank you.
Yeah, do you want to first of all recap on your journey since Genesis, since the very dawn of PAWChain, your achievements, notable events, partnerships, metrics, and all that good stuff?
Absolutely. Our start originally, this was just born. We were going to be a multi-chain swap. But when we launched as an ERC20 token, we found out that the network we were originally going to build on wasn't going to facilitate our needs to create, this, unique swap that we wanted. So our head developer and his team, who've been in many projects in the past, we're talking big, successful projects. They've been blockchain developers on some of the biggest projects around, decided that, hey, let's just build our own network. Let's solve this problem that's existed in the space since the beginning of unified liquidity. Let's bring the chains together and allow them to communicate. So then that was born, and they started building their own chain, this own layer 3 custom built, bootstrapped by them. They didn't have seed funding, VC backing. They spent millions of dollars of their own money to build this thing for the community, for us, so we could focus on the build. And then after the fact, we can, start bringing in VCs, people, once they start using this technology. So the people who are early adopters, the people building, have the most to gain. A lot of these projects launch with, big market caps. They have to answer to VCs. There's vesting schedules, all those different kind of things. We didn't have any of that. So once they started building this, we actually went live in July of 2024 with our blockchain. So in my opinion, our actual blockchain, what we built, is only 6 months old. And we have accomplished so very much in that short period of time. We have a wallet application. We have an external swap. We have a scanner. And now we're building upon all of that infrastructure. We got a wonderful foundation that we're starting to build and release our dApps now. And as our more user-centric friendly dApps come out, we start getting chart providing, because remember, we're a non-EVM custom chain. So all our API has to be custom built, but now it is, and we're handing it over to people like DEX tools, like CoinMarketCap, all those different things, so people can see our chain. And across that time, across the building, there's been some great partnerships. I know we're partnered up with Dione Protocol, Hash AI, DeFi Times, just to name a few of those partnerships. We got about 25 to 30 projects launching, trading on chain currently, and we just continue to grow, and we will continue to do so. A few weeks ago, we signed our first venture capitalist deal. About 2 days later, we signed another one. So now we're working with them, getting investment into the company, using their network and connections for things like exchange listings moving forward. It's just been an unbelievable ride, and to see the growth, to be a part of that growth is special to me. When I want to get involved in a project, yes, everybody has financial gain in mind. Everyone always focuses on the money. But here at PAWChain, our team, our community, we want to leave the space better than we found it. We want to accomplish something. 20 to 30 years from now, I want to talk to my kids, my grandkids, and tell them, hey, I was a part of this project that helped revolutionize the space, that did revolutionize the space, because our tech is live and it works, and there's nothing else out there like it. And I was a part of that. And that really means a lot. And it's important to our community. It's why our community is so strong, because we really believe in what we built here. So there is going to be more events, partnerships coming in the future to grow, as I think people realize, what this is exactly. And it's just like nothing else out there. And is that a challenge? Of course it is, to get people to use something new. Because Dale, as you mentioned, this space as it exists right now is way too complicated. Everything is too fractured. There are just new layer 1s, layer 2s releasing with their own wallets, their own swaps. And if you tell a normie, somebody outside of crypto, like family members, friends, and just to get them in on a central exchange and get them in on a project is one thing. But you start telling them that they got a bridge, go to all these different apps, do all these different things, they're going to roll their eyes and just say, this is ridiculous. I'm not doing it. That's barrier of entry. That's exactly what we're trying to focus on over this coming year, to lower that barrier of entry, to make it easier for people to interact in this space, because it is so early and the opportunity is so extensive to make financial gains, to grow the technology, and to be a part of something. And I think that's the atmosphere that we want to foster.
That's amazing, honestly. And I agree with what you said, right? We need something that's easier for the people to be onboarded to. 2025 is going to be a huge year, dude. Like, in about 4 or 5 days time, depending on where you live, Trump is going to be the president of the United States, and immediately he promised great things for crypto. And I can't wait until that day comes, and then maybe a few months into his actual becoming a president, and his policies when it comes to crypto
Yeah.
too. And that's going to bring a lot of users in. And when that happens, people are going to need a solution to simplify their experience in Web3, right? So I love that, actually. Okay, so but like, this is more about your birthday. So maybe something fun. Let's do something fun. What have the team been doing, these recent days? I think it's been, a wonderful journey so far, but the team's gotta celebrate. Like, you guys are like all in, in the
Yeah.
back end building stuff. But yeah, you guys been doing anything fun in terms of
Yeah,
community
we've
side,
been
the
we've
team
been
side? Yeah,
doing a lot of stuff in our Discord, Rumbles, things like that, running some giveaways, some quizzes,
nice.
like test your PAW Chain knowledge, just kind of like in community engagement things. We have a massive update going on currently to fully integrate Solana network into our external swap. Really hoping that's ready in the coming hours to announce that, because having the Solana virtual machine integrated, seamless bridging, I mean, it's something that just hasn't been done in the space. So it'll be a massive accomplishment for our team. So that's like one of the main things we're working on. But yeah, just community engagements, man. I mean, we're having a party. In the Discord's a party. In the Telegram, it's a party. We're celebrating our accomplishments today. But in my opinion, it's more so like, yes, I'm very excited for what we accomplished, but I'm more looking forward to like, what's this next year going to hold? Like, I'm actually more excited about what's to come, because, conviction is earned based on the team delivering, right? Most
Right.
people say conviction, it's a buzzword, like, oh, I have conviction in this, but it has to continue to be earned. The team has to continue to prove, and our team does. They said what they were going to do and they delivered, and we have no reason to believe that they won't. So I think like that excitement is just emanating through our Discord, through our Telegram, through our Reddit, all the socials that we have going, TikTok, Instagram, we're everywhere. We're continuing to expand. And, that's what we're doing this week, is just a celebration of what we accomplished, but more so too of what's to come.
Facts, dude. Like someone on
Yeah.
X said, facts, Brian. Yes, yes, sir, it is. And dude, it's insane. This is I like, guys, if you don't know how great PAWChain is, again, go to their Discord, go to the Telegram, right, to see how great the community is. Celebrate with them, man. Right now, we're at the moment we have about 1.2 thousand viewers on Binance Live, and about 1,160 around that viewers also on X. So the PAWChain community is insane. All right. Thank you again. Thank you guys so much for your support to PAWChain. And drop a follow to BSC Daily as well. Now, let's move on to a more technical question, because that's
Okay.
also the reason why we're here today. Talking about
Absolutely.
your layer three, right? So at the core, you guys are building a layer three blockchain, combining layer 0, 1, and 2, the previous versions, into one, right? Explain in simple terms what that is. Yeah, so for the people.
Yeah, absolutely. And to be honest, it's very difficult to define us. Like technically, I guess we're a layer three. That was a title given to us by Certic, the world's first layer three centric blockchain. But when you think about it, we're a combination, like you mentioned, Dale, of all three: the layer 0, layer 1, and 2. We built our own layer 1, layer 2, layer 3. But what we found out is that this layer 3 is so advanced that it can perform all the functions of a layer 1 and a layer 2 while also connecting these other networks. So like, forget what you know about current blockchain structure, forget what you know about traditional bridging. Our layer 3 blockchain is completely unique, and look at it as a unification layer. That's the easiest way that I explain it to everybody. It is a true origin, true unification layer that can do everything a layer 1, layer 2 can do, all wrapped up into this unification layer. And that's exactly what we do. And that's like with the liquidity. You launch a liquidity pool. Normally, when you're a project, you have to pick a network. You have to pick the BSC network, Solana, Ethereum, so on and so forth. And you are only available with that native coin. But with PAWChain, you launch on our network. People can trade your asset, buy your asset with Ethereum, Base, Polygon, BSC, Arbitrum, AVAX, Celo, Optimism, Chronos, Solana, and soon to be many more. This network too, that's something I didn't mention, we're infinitely scalable the way we built this thing, so we don't have to worry about congestion issues. That's why, like, on the layer 3 itself, like if you're navigating via the PAW wallet, there is no gas. We do not have any gas fees. There's just transaction fees, which will go down over time as we gain adoption. So that's what we're talking about: total blockchain unification, no gas, solve the scalability issue, solve the communication issue, solve the cost issue. The main three problems with blockchain technology. And as I mentioned earlier, I think that's where Web 2 and actual businesses will be interested in this chain to utilize it, because they can become profitable. And I don't think we talk about that enough. Everyone wants wide scale adoption, get people in. Why hasn't it happened yet? Because it just simply hasn't been easy enough, and it has not been profitable for these businesses to utilize blockchain. But I think this is going to provide that opportunity. This chain will be able to do that easy and simply to make them money. In the end, that's what it is. When you're running a business, you want a bottom line. You want to know fixed cost. Nobody's going to use the Ethereum network if they go to buy groceries and congestion's high and they got a $190 fee. It's just simply not going to happen. People aren't going to use Solana if congestion's high and you got a 70% transactional failure rate. Those things just simply are not going to happen. Plus, if someone wants to use a different native asset to buy whatever they're buying, they have to pick and choose what chain they want to be on. With PAWChain, that won't be an issue anymore. So I think that also will really separate us moving forward.
I love that. Now one very important part in your answer is you said PAWChain. If we were using PAWChain, if we were to be on PAW Wallet,
Yep.
is that similar experience to I don't know, like a famous wallet like MetaMask, or how
Yeah.
is the experience of using PAW? Yeah, what do we need to
Yes,
do?
it's actually it's keep in mind too. This is all V1 stuff, so we're making
Right.
improvements and updates. But I use my Paw Wallet all the time. I find it very intuitive, very easy to use. Set up not quite like MetaMask, but more of like it's an easy user interface. It's simple, kind of like more like a Phantom. I would say is like kind of like what we're going. The reason why I think the Solana blockchain is so successful is because it's easy to use. Solana, the Phantom wallet is intuitive, easy to use. So that's what we're trying to accomplish with our wallet. But what makes our wallet unique is you can hold all those different native assets in the wallet on all those different networks,
Right.
and not just EVM like a MetaMask wallet, but other virtual machines as well as we integrate. Like I can hold Solana on my Paw wallet with Ethereum. You know what I mean? All in my Paw wallet under that Paw wallet address. And then I transact across there easily with no gas fees. I make transactions all the time in the wallet. And story like people who are getting involved, they had a bunch of dust in different wallets, Base, AVAX, other things. They just bridged it all into the Paw wallet now, so they're able to use those funds via our network. And I think that's really going to be something that sets us apart. And then right now it's just web browser app. Once we get our app store apps in iOS and Android, I really think that's going to remove a layer of friction to allow people to just go to the app store, download the wallet, and boom. And something else that I want to mention that I've been talking about
Yeah.
a lot in my spaces is not only does our wallet have seed phrase protection, we have password protection as well. So if somebody does get their hands on your seed phrase, they still have to know your password to be able to access that wallet, which I think is an extra layer of security, that we'll be able to provide to the end user.
Thank you so much for that. Okay, so besides the Paw Wallet, I'm sure that is an amazing product. It's live right now, guys. It's on
Yep.
their website. If you don't know where to access it, it's at pawchain.net, right? Again, the link is in the description. So use the wallet out, just see how it works, all right? And the next question that I have for you is about your other products, right, on the chain. Right now, you said about 25 to 30 projects have been trading actively
Yep.
on PawChain. Do you want to name a few notable projects that maybe the ones that you like the most?
Yeah, I would start with DeFi Times. They're a digital news application that was originally launched on the Solana network. They launched the pool on chain. They provide a digital magazine service that's free to download via the app stores, kind of explaining a bunch of information to people who may be new to crypto. They're on board. We have like 5 solely launched projects. We actually just had our first Politify meme launch, OG Trump 47, which I think is fun. Talking about memes, I was never a big meme guy, but you have to understand that memes bring users and massive communities. Like, if a blockchain ignores memes, I think they're going to struggle because that's where the communities are. That's where the people are. That's where the users are. But we have some other people that are going to be building on chain, like Raid Sharks, the Raid bot. I'm not sure if you heard of those guys. They run a Raid bot for Telegram. There's a few other utility projects that will be trading, will be launching. We have Bob ETH token on chain. They were a big project back in 2023, ran to like a 300 million market cap. They got a pool on chain, and many more. So we're going to continue to add, continue to build. And to be honest, too, it's early. So like we're in chats with, I'm talking, dozens upon dozens of different teams, utility projects. And now that our API is built out, we're able to start handing that over to these utility projects that want to build their DApps, their bots, like these things. And that's going to start coming to PAWChain as well.
One quick question though. Do you have like a ecosystem page where people can navigate? So because the thing is, PAW Chain is a new one, right? It's a new one,
Yes.
and normally how I do my trading on different other chains is I go to Dex tool, and you mentioned Dex tool in your answer, and then I can see all of the chains and different tokens in that chains. And you said you're building something similar to Dex tool or collaborating with Dex tool with PAW
We're
Chain.
collaborating with Dex Tools, actually. Yes, like I mentioned, since we're a non-EVM custom chain, all our API has to be custom built and integrated to all these different chart providers. So Dex Tools is the first one that we are working with. They sent us a build out. Hey, this is what we require, and we
Mm-hmm.
custom built our API to fit what they wanted, so they can implement. And they are currently in the process of implementing and testing. And hopefully, in the coming days, next week sometime, they will have that implemented, and you'll be able to track our charts. And guys, I think that is so massive. 22 million users
It
on
is
Dex Tools. Dale, what's the first thing you do when you get a ticker, a project? You go to a chart
obviously.
provider, you check
That's right.
the
That's
wallets,
right.
check the holders. We right
That's
now
right.
there hasn't been a way to chart projects on chain. You can see our scanner, see the market cap, see the holders, see the wallets, all that stuff. But that chart, people stare at the charts every day. Everybody in here just goes, checks their charts on their projects multiple times a day. And I think that's going to be a massive catalyst. And then after Dex tools, things like CMC, CoinGecko, all these different providers will be given our API to implement. And then central exchanges will come to implement our chain as well. It's all a process. Like I said, we've only been live just over 6 months. It takes a little bit of time. The Solana blockchain launched in 2017. Probably didn't become popular until the 2020-21 bull run. People were trading it, but then like Bonk set it over the top, and then Pump.Fun came in and just blew it out of water, changed the entire crypto space, in my opinion. Some would argue not for the better. I'm not going to get into that.
Well,
But yeah. But
more liquidity, more
we're going to
activities.
have
You know what I mean?
similar launchpad on PAWChain. Now
Nice.
imagine a Pump.Fun style launchpad that you're not just live on the Solana blockchain, you're live on dozens of
Everywhere.
networks, everywhere when you go.
Mm.
That's what I'm saying. So very much looking forward to that Dex Tools integration, which will be coming shortly.
No, that is big. No, honestly, like I'm one of the, I guess not like supporters of pump fund, but I'm a, let's say, enthusiast of a pump fund. Anything that brings more activities, bring more liquidity, bring more fees to the market, bring more opportunities right into
Yeah.
the market. I support it. But you got to be careful though, guys, on pump fund. But yeah, like talking about pump fund and launchpad, I think that is going to be the the meta in 2025 and 2026 bull run of launchpad, like the old ways of joining IDOs and launchpad. I think that days is like gone, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
A lot, yeah. Right now we gotta be get with the game, you know what I mean? And so right now pump up on the model is one of the ways, the biggest ways for people to trade memes and make some money and have fun on it. And so I don't see why PAWChain should not have one. All right, it's going to bring a lot of users,
Oh,
activities
absolutely.
in. It's going to be amazing. And talking about the Dex too, I think that is like people are like underestimating how big that is. Honestly, I cannot tell you how many chains I've been invited to test, but they don't have like a chart provider like Dex2 or Dex Green. I
Yep.
just immediately I don't care about that chain anymore. There's no way for me to look at the tokens inside of the ecosystem easily and simply and look at the charts and click on trade. Like, where's my trade tab? You know what I mean? And so if PAW Chain were to be on Dex2 in the next couple of days, I think it's going to be huge. It's just imagine the 20, 30 plus tokens and even more with the new launch pad that they have, right? And on that chain, and it's going to be like a lot of activities, new tokens everywhere,
Yep.
opportunities everywhere, right? If you like a token, you like a chart, just click on trade and you'll be led immediately to the PAW swap. That's going to be their native swap, and
Exactly.
you can trade immediately. So that is like amazing. So thank you so
I
much for that.
personally believe that it's going to be our biggest catalyst yet. I really do.
It is.
I've been saying it since day one. Once our APIs start getting integrated on chart providers, like I said, it's 22 million people see it now. It's real. They can touch it. They can see it. They can interact. They can check. Oh, hey, look at this project. They just shot a massive green god candle. They're exploding. What's this PAW chain? How do I get there? Click on the link.
That's right.
Boom. You're at our swap. There's
So
users right there. It's exciting to think about. And the thing is, though, it's like when it comes to that, that's another party. We controlled what we controlled. We built it for them. We're working with them. They're integrating. In the end, it's on their timeline now. It's the same thing with like our Google Chrome extension. We submitted that. We're on the Google Chrome extension timeline now. And once they approve that, because I don't know if you, I don't think I mentioned this, Google Chrome has had some issues with some hacks recently. So they really tightened up their policy on what they deploy. So that's why it's probably taken us a little bit longer to get integrated with Google Chrome extension, but that's coming as well. So it just, these things take time when you involve other third parties, but we're going to be ready. We're going to have our information. We're going to be doing our due diligence. And then when, they're ready and they say go, I mean, the sky's going to be the limit. It's just going to be a lot of fun and see that, and to see all these projects, because I know a lot of these people personally, connecting them, getting them launched on the chain, to provide that for them is going to be special.
Yo, you getting me excited to think about that too. Yeah, but that's going to be the biggest catalyst. The Dexter integration and also the new launchpad that you're going to have. The extension is obviously like a necessity. You cannot not have that, right? So that
Exactly.
I'm very excited to as well. And the mobile wallet is also coming soon on App Store and
Yep.
Play Store. That's also very nice. Dude, like the opportunities are endless. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
again, follow
It's
PAWChain
it's
right now
early.
on the socials. Yeah, you guys are
We're
very early.
so early in this project, man.
All right, that's exciting. Okay, so we've been talking about all of the features, right, and how big that's going to be for PodChain.
Mhm.
Now, for a new user, right, who just got into crypto, for example, how would they navigate within the PodChain's ecosystem and utilize your liquidity layer to the best of their potentials? So yeah, that's going to
Yeah.
be question number 4.
Okay, so from a user's perspective, how you interact with the Paw Chain is via the Paw wallet. The first thing I would do is create a Paw wallet, and then bridging funds, and then you're inside of the ecosystem. But from an end user's perspective too, and launching projects, we offer the opportunity to be available on multiple networks from that single liquidity pool. So your user base will be bigger, your opportunity will be bigger to different users on different chains. Like I said, we're not trying to replace other chains. We want to unify them. So you can still use your favorite network. If you want to use BSC, you can. If you want to use Solana, you can. But you can come and utilize PAW's unique liquidity structure to be able to trade cross-chain. And something I didn't mention as well, as we build this out, we're going to be adding native liquidity pairs for like Solana, Ethereum, Base, BSC, to where people will be able to come to our swap and bridge faster, cheaper, and safer than ever before. We will be the world's fastest bridge. And once we build up that liquidity and make those go live, I think, that is what's really going to set us apart, is everyone is going to want to come to this bridge when they can click a button and 10 to 20 seconds later, they just swapped Ethereum for Solana, cheaper than it would be doing it any other way. And other DeFi earning potentials is obviously as a liquidity provider. Anyone can provide liquidity. The projects get paid, a fee, 0.25%. We have a 0.5 fee. 0.25 goes to the liquidity provider. 0.25 goes to PAW Chain. And, so there's opportunities to gain liquidity providing. I have multiple pools on chain. I have a main pair, and then I'm providing liquidity for a handful of the projects on chain. And then also our validation delegation dashboard is going to be going live at the end of the month into February. So you'll have validators come in to make money, and then you'll be able to delegate your PAW to that validator to make passive income. So there's going to be many, many opportunities for DeFi earning in PAW Chain. And that's honestly what I love about DeFi. I became a liquidity nerd about a year and a half ago, and been providing on Uniswap, different platforms, and it can be extremely lucrative if you understand in permanent loss these things with liquidity. But the way everything's set up, man, the opportunities are endless, and PAW Chain is going to provide that opportunity as well. And I think in the end, what you need to do, you need to show people that they can be profitable, that they can make money. And if you do that, with our service, our unique, like that unified liquidity, the sky is going to be the limit. And that's exactly what I plan on doing. And I think many are planning on doing as well. I was speaking in a couple spaces the last few days, and I'm starting to have people DM me saying, hey, I want to be a liquidity provider, and not just like a small pool. Like we're talking some serious size because they realize the potential of growth. And then being an early validator as well is going to be extremely beneficial. If anybody knows anything about validation, if you're an early validator on what becomes a successful blockchain, like say you were an early validator on Polygon, some of these other networks, the opportunity is so insane. Like we are talking insane amounts of gains by being an early validator. And we're starting to see people come in and be like, hey, I want to be an early validator on our chain. I like what you guys are doing. So, those are going to be coming into our ecosystem. And I'm very much looking forward to the DeFi earning potential that, we're going to provide.
Me too. Maybe not as long as you, but I recently got into liquidity providing. Especially, I love concentrated liquidity on Uniswap.
Oh,
Also
yeah.
on Solana quite a bit too. Right now, Meteora, Orca, provide just liquidity here and there. So my biggest question is like, is there right now a concentrated liquidity provider, much like Uniswap V3 protocol on PAWChain that I can use
Not
with?
currently. Eventually,
All right.
we will as we update our, liquidity providing. Right now, we function very similar to Uniswap V2.
All
So
right.
it's a
I
set
see.
fee, but eventually we'll be just like Uniswap V3, even V4 when that comes
Mm,
out, and you'll be able to do all these different concentrated things. Because like you said, dude, I love that. I love setting my ranges. You can like get
me
these
too.
crazy fees and do all these things. Like it's crazy. Like I dug in to how it all works and like the crazy gorilla math that they use to be able to concentrate your fees. And like people don't realize just how much opportunity there is. If you got a big pool set up and that project gets $4 to $5 million in daily volume.
In
I
volume.
mean,
Woo!
you look at those fees and it's just like, I didn't even trade the chart. I didn't even do anything. Look at this. And that's the opportunity. And I think we'll be able to provide that too as we update and we install things like that concentrated liquidity and all
I
those
love that.
things. We just offered liquidity locking and burning for
Mhm.
projects. So that's live now. The next update is going to have sales and buy tax if projects want to install a sale buy tax. So everything we're doing, we're going to be building, adding on to, make it up. But the thing is, you got to look at it too. Uniswap had many years to build this. They've been
Right.
around for a long time. We've just been live 6 months. We've just been building for just, 2 years today. So like, think about what's going to be like a year from now, 3 years from now, like what we're going to provide. That's why I'm excited, man. That's why I think the potential is massive on our platform.
Dude, it's amazing. So yeah, I guess right now what you guys are doing is you're not really like rushing things, right? And again, that's not a cons at all. That's a pro. I like my project, taking this slow, learning about the giants in the space, and adopting their technologies and making it their own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so waiting, yeah, I'm waiting for PAWChain to release that concentrated liquidity model, man. I'm gonna be excited. And
We don't
if you
release
put out that
anything
too.
until it's ready. We do not
Oh,
rush
I love
anything.
that too.
We test
Like
it
fully audited and
extensively,
everything.
and if it's not ready, it's not coming out. And we'll tell people, hey, that that this is why it's not coming out. It's just not ready yet. Or hey,
Yeah.
we had a bug, ran into a bug. Like the Solana integration is very difficult, and we've ran into some issues. But we let people know, like, hey, we're doing an update. We have to update this. There's an issue. Like these things are going to happen, but we'll let people know. And if you just give it some time, it's going to come. But it's better than releasing a busted product
Right.
where people come out, it doesn't work. People lose funds. That's the ultimate. Probably we do never want that. So security is always of utmost importance.
Right. And again, coming back to the point where you said, if you want people or your holders and your supporters to have conviction, the team has to deliver and earn it, on a daily basis. So
Exactly.
immediately when you release like a faulty, or errory kind of product, that's gone. You know what I mean? So you can never rush into these things, guys. So
Yeah.
be patient. The team is always delivering. So just stay tuned. Oh, okay. Amazing. I guess, yeah. So on the topic of security, right?
Yeah.
And you're releasing amazing products. Do you want to, touch on some of the risks,
Oh
associated
yeah.
with having single liquidity pool for all multi-chain assets? And how do you, as PAWChain, mitigate this risk?
Yes, absolutely. As everybody knows, bridges are inherently targeted. They are the weakest, part of the blockchain with the space we're in right now, because they're the easiest to attack. So how we go about it is normally with traditional bridging structures, there's multiple parties involved. That's why you have to have multiple transactions. So there's more opportunity to attack that bridge, those transactions. How PawChain's unique is our network itself, our layer 3, that it is the bridge. We are the network. There is no third party. It is simply PAWChain. And our validation technique, being brand new, and our triple layer architecture, the way this thing is built, makes it inherently harder to, to attack, to go after. Like we have 5 validators that validate each transaction in a brand new validation technique that we call cross stitching. I'm not going to get into it because I can talk about it for a very long time and people will fall asleep. But just know it's extremely secure. And then I think how also you mitigate these risks, third-party audits with legitimate companies, 24-hour monitoring. That's exactly what we're doing. We have extensive audits with CertiK. We have one of the top scores in the space. We have 24-hour monitoring by CertiK. Our team is KYC Gold verified. Our entire team, the highest level of KYC. And then into the future, also, we're working on bringing in other top auditing firms to continually audit our products that are live and to continually audit the new products that do come out. Every single product that launches on PAW Chain, every single DApp will be audited to ensure security. And then we are always monitoring our chain, like I said, with that 24-hour monitoring, not only by third parties, but our developers as well, to help mitigate those risks. But the main thing is not having that third party, less transactions, less opportunity for attack from the outside. And then 2, we are completely custom coded and custom built. So this is all brand new. So it's inherently harder for people to attack. They're not going to be able to use traditional means from some of these other chains out there. But yeah, it is a concern, but it is honestly, it's our number one priority. Security, top-notch security, number one priority. We're always working on, we're always looking to mitigate and make it as safe as possible.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that. And going on to our last question of my segment, my part, and then we're gonna go to the community questions.
Yeah.
What is your 2025 development and marketing plans to further solidify PAWChain? Because you mentioned you are in talk, signing deals with some
Yeah.
people, VCs, whatever. All right. So how
Yeah.
are you gonna be planning to use that funds to better PAWChain?
Okay, so pretty much it's going to be development first and foremost over the next quarter, Q1, on user-friendly DApps. So our Paw wallet, via the App Store, chart providing, things like that. That's going to be our first focus. And then, we're going to move forward using some of this funds to set up those liquidity pools I mentioned earlier for those native assets. So you can just come to our swap to be able to bridge Solana for Ethereum, BSC for Arbitrum, so on and so forth. That's in the plans, using it we're going to start attending our first IRL events this year. So we're going to be at some massive conventions. I'm going to be at Web3 Amsterdam in March. I know I've been talking about, I think I'm going to go to ETH Toronto in May, a Bitcoin conference in Miami. Like all these things are going to be starting to happen so we can expand outward, finalizing our LLC to be able to go after seed funding, other venture capitalist deals, the ones we have now with Victus Capital and Acquire FI. We're applying for obviously more of that to use to continue to feed mostly liquidity. It's all about liquidity, making our liquidity as strong as possible so there's less price impact and more people will want to use the chain. So that's what I'll say moving forward is going to be focused on is building our liquidity on chain and then making more user-friendly centric decisions, DApps, website updates to provide a more inviting atmosphere, making it easier on the everyday user. Because we know 2025, this is the bull run, guys. It's here. There is going to be a rush of new liquidity, normies coming into the chain, and they're simply not going to use something that's difficult. They're going to use what they know. So that's our challenge, is be able to reach those guys to realize like, hey, I only need one wallet and I can put any kind of native asset in there that you're connected to, and that's it. And I can trade. I can just go to this swap and do that. That's going to be our main focus in 2025 on top of, building partnerships with other utility projects, bringing people in to build on our chain. And then, like I said, that Web 2 part, we're going to have a point of sale system, hopefully coming out sometime Q3, Q4 this year, NFT marketplace, pretty much an entire ecosystem to bring as many users in as possible. So the development is unbelievable. We got something called PAW Merchant that's going to be like eBay on PAW Chain, with real world assets, things like that. So the roadmap is extremely extensive, but first and foremost, user-friendly centric DApps, and then boosting our liquidity on chain.
The plan, man. That's the plan. I guess like if you want to really catch that 2025 bull run, I think we're at the total of it, and we should be, seeing the bull run somewhere later this year.
Yeah.
I mean, in order to catch up with that, like you really need to release that, pump.fund kind of model out, man.
Yeah,
Like
that
that's
launch
gonna be
pad.
fun.
We got an
Yeah,
entire
the launch pad.
dev team working on it right now. We're
Perfect.
hoping end of Q1, but to be honest, I think it's going to be more Q2 because there's
Hmm.
a lot of work that goes into building a multi-chain launch pad, as you can imagine. And then I didn't mention this, we have our own coding language called PAWJS that's going
Hmm.
to be intuitive and easy to use that a not 10-year-old will be able to do.
Really?
You'll be able to use
Nah.
Yeah,
Yes, really?
Windows operating system to use it. So it's there's a lot, man. We're going to be not only 2025, like we're going to be building for years. Like we're just going
Yeah.
to continue to stay around multiple cycles and continue to add, continue to improve, upon top of this wonderful foundation. You have to have a good structure, a good foundation. We have that. Now we just have to build upon it, and then we have to make it user friendly so people will want to use it.
I love it. I guess yeah, that's an amazing plan. Like if there's one thing though, like if you like release a launchpad, please call it the paw pump. You know?
Already, or that's already like the top one. Paw
You know
pump, and
why?
then
You know
I'm
why?
thinking about things like making a little mascot with it. So then we got our own little mascot, paw pump, and then we, like base has Brett. All these chains have like their little, icon mascot. I think that is a great idea. But paw pump would be pretty
Yeah,
cool.
because
It's a great idea. Yeah.
when people call it paw pump, it's initial for PP. So I like that.
Yeah, it'll
Like
be
it's not
fun,
a
man.
meme, you know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
gotta you gotta embrace the memes. That's where the
For
culture
sure.
is,
You
dude.
do.
Like,
The guy, and I mentioned this first thing in the space, they bring users, guys, communities, memes tokenize sentiment. They
yeah,
tokenize community involvement, emotions. That's what makes memes so successful. And that's what I didn't understand at the beginning. I saw memes and like, these are valueless. Inherently, they have nothing. But then you just see them run the Pepe, $8 billion, all these things because there's communities behind it. They tokenize that sentiment, that momentum, and that's why they're successful. So now I understand, like we need them. They are going to bring our users. They're going to be our main user base, especially in the early beginning. And I said, who's going to be our bonk? What project is going to be that first
wow.
billion-dollar project on PAWChain? And this is what gets me excited. We're a blockchain, so we can have multiple billion-dollar projects on PAWChain. And then look at Solana. Look what happened to their native asset when they started having pump fund, all these successful projects after Bonk hitting hundreds, millions of dollars. And, Solana went over $100 billion market cap. Like that's the potential. That's the opportunity. And that's just on Solana. We offer that cross-chain opportunity that I think once people realize and they see those charts on DEX tools, I can buy this asset with all these different native coins. Man, dude, it's exciting to think about. It's like mind blowing what the potential here.
That is it, man. That is it. But for now, there's gonna be a lot of hurdles, coming your
Oh
ways
yeah,
as well, and yeah, in building this thing. So again, guys, if you are interested in PAWChain, go ahead and check them out. Support them if you are a long-term supporter of PAWChain. Thank you guys very much, and keep on supporting PAWChain. Great things are coming. All right, and you will not regret it. All right, thank you so much for listening to my questions for about 50 minutes now. It is
yeah.
time for the community to be asking their questions. Are you ready, Brian?
I'm ready. Let's go.
All
Bring
right,
it.
perfect. Okay, so in this part, right, since we're multi-streaming on X and on Binance Live, I would try and select the best questions that I can find,
Okay.
mostly on Binance Live, right? If you, yeah, if you see any questions on X, also let me know. Just
Yeah.
send it to me in our private channel. I will send them the words and whatever. Yeah, but just let me know. But for now, I am going to select a few questions on X.
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, on Binance Live, and if you want to answer the question, let me know. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Okay. Just
Yeah.
pick 5 best ones. So here we go. That's the first one. That's the second one. All right. This one is we answered already, but it's kind of a technical thing. So
Yeah.
yeah, this one too. So what's that? One, two, three, four. All right. Let me see some more. Um. Okay. Okay. By the way, guys, you need to include your Telegram username in your questions too, so that I can send you the rewards, right? So yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to start answering some of these here.
Right. Okay. So which one you
I'll
want?
start at the most recent one that you sent because it's a good one because it's about community.
Okay.
This is at Rim 4S. PAWChain's commitment to community, in my opinion, is second to none. We are community focused. We are community centric. We empower community members, and I believe by providing roles, we have teams, ability to be a mod, ability to join our marketing team, onboarding team. We have a customer service team. That's something that I didn't even talk about that really sets us apart from any other DeFi protocol out there. Is our customer service team is incredible. We have an open ticket system. We have a help desk on X to provide that commitment to the community. And then once you get involved, that commitment is rewarded. That's why I said you got to confirm that conviction constantly. And that's what we do here at PAWChain. Our team, our developers are committed to performing for the community, to establishing that conviction and trust, and that's why we've had many community members. I see a lot of them in the chat who've been here since the beginning, since day one for 2 years. And, we're growing every single day. We continue to bring in community members. And I believe, that's why.
Thank you very much for the question. Him for us.
Yeah. So some of the other questions, let's see here. So the how the PAW L3 will unify all liquidity multi-chain, that's Zoil, ABNB.
All right, here we go.
So I kind of talked about that earlier. Is the unification of the liquidity is the ability to concentrate that into one pool. Normally, like cross-chain options that currently exist, you have to have multiple liquidity pools, multiple contract addresses, and it kind of fractures your liquidity, so you have higher price impact upon those pools. But with PAWChain, you can create a bigger pool, better price impact, same contract address across all EVM chains, and have that liquidity accessible in one place. So it's easier to manage on not only the end user, but the creator, the builder. You have one pool. That's it. That's all you're managing. It's on PAWChain. I don't got to deal with Wormhole. I don't got to deal with all these different contracts. I don't got to do all these different pools. It's concentrated in one place, and that one place is on PAWChain.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Zoila BNB.
Okay, so here's another one. How PAWChain will compete with major blockchains. BHI MJII. So how we're going to compete with major blockchains is, I believe, offering a unique service that those major blockchains simply do not offer. Like, we will be able to provide that cross-chain functionality that they can't offer. But the thing is, we don't necessarily need to compete with them. We just integrate them. People can still use those major blockchains and that native asset if they like, but they can utilize PAWChain to talk to these other chains, to jump around on different chains. I think that's going to be our major selling point against some of these other layer ones. It's just the way we do it. It's just different. It's unique. Even with Sui, which is, I love Sui, don't get me wrong, like great tech, unique L1, custom built. But in the end, inherently, Sui is still just at layer one. You need Sui to interact with the Sui blockchain. Our competitive advantage is you don't need that. You can use different native assets to interact across the chain. So I think that's how we're going to compete with these major blockchains. And then obviously, as we grow, as we move our liquidity, people will notice that. And and compete is definitely a word. We are competing, but we're more. I like unify. We stop this tribalism that exists in the space is just second to none. It's crazy. There's so many chain maxis. That's not what this is all about. This whole space is supposed to be power to the people, for the people. So like that's at our core value is not to compete, but to unify, to bring everything together.
I appreciate the question.
Yeah, no problem.
We have two more.
Yeah, I'll go down to how flexible and easy is PAWSwap to use by Max D6.
All right, here we go.
All right, so it is extremely easy to use. All you have to do is you can even use a DeFi wallet. You don't even need a PAW wallet to interact with the L3. You can use a MetaMask, Coinbase wallet. Just go to swap.pawchain.net. Boom, use whatever native asset that we're connected to buy whatever you want on PAWChain, and then you can deposit it on any chain you want, and that's all done with the click of a button. So swap.pawchain.net, boom, you connect your DeFi wallet just like any other swap like Uniswap, interact, make your transaction, you're done. That's it. So it's extremely flexible, extremely easy, but it is multi-chain. That's what really sets us apart.
I appreciate the question, Max D6. And one last questions, guys, and then I will send you the crypto box for you guys to claim. All right.
All right. So I will answer one more question because this is one we get all the time and it's a big thing to space. Do you have buyback and burning program at
Yeah.
ZKRKN? We actually do have a burn mechanism that is going to be a buyback burn, but it's unique. So pretty much what we do is, every money that's certain, like I think it's like every $25,000 in transaction fees, there'll be a buyback, and then we'll lock that liquidity away. So we're buying back and then turning it into liquidity to continue to boost the ecosystem. There's a common misconception in the space, guys, that just burning your coin makes price go up. That's simply not true. It's demand. It always has been demand. You can take a project that has no volume, no transactions. You burn 90% of the supply, nothing's going to happen. I've seen it happen. And in the end, burning your token actually kind of removes you from making moves going forward. Yes, we have a big supply in PAW Chain, 1 quadrillion total supply, but we're going to need to provide thousands of liquidity pools in the future. So that's why we're going to need all these coins for that liquidity, like I mentioned before. And everything built on PAW Chain, guys, is all built around PAW coin and liquidity. That's what it is. That's going to be our focus moving forward.
And that is all the questions for today, guys. Thank you very much for sending them to the chat. There are a couple on X from Hoki. But yeah, if you want to ask your questions and have it answered, go ahead and go to their Discord and also Telegram, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for the
We are
admins to
open to
support you
answering questions,
forever.
guys. We literally answer every question. We duck nothing. If I don't have the answer, I will find you the answer. And if we don't
I like
have
that.
it, I'll let you know that, hey, we don't have an answer right now. I'm not going to BS nobody. That's not what we do.
That's very transparent. I love that. Thank you very much, Brian, for being here with the community of BSC Daily and also your post supporters. Before we sign out of this AMA, do you have any closing remarks, any recap you want to say to the community, to the viewers?
Yeah, first things first, guys, and I know many people are newer to this space. This will be their first bull cycle. I'm going to mention security, not about PAW Chain security, but private security, protecting your assets, your wallet security. Recently, 2 days ago, I had a close friend of mine got his wallet drained because he answered a call from somebody thinking they were Coinbase, and they had him
Wow.
click on a link, and he lost about
Yeah.
$5,800 worth of crypto, and he was devastated. He just, when you get scammed, you feel helpless. You feel, like you made a mistake, that you're an idiot. Guys, I talked to Coinbase, actually. They said that scamming right now is at an all-time high. So
Wow.
please do not answer those phone calls. Coinbase, they only have one number. They have certified emails. There's these things that you need to look for. And don't share your seed phrase. Like, treat it like a real wallet, like the wallet in my pocket. I'm walking down the street, I'm not just showing random people, hey, look at my credit card, check this out, look how much money I have. Don't post what you're making on social media platforms. Don't do all these things. And please don't click links. Our team, I'll let people know, we never DM first. We will never DM you. 99% of the time, that's going to be a scam. So I'll close this with, as this bull run comes in, guys, protect your assets, pay attention to your investments and what you're doing, and protect what you work so hard for.
You know what I love about you, Brian, is that whenever I ask this question, right, for the speakers, for the guests, they always say, "Hey, you know what? Check us out," and say something along the lines of like, buy out tokens or whatnot, right? But you leave this note to actually, clarify and tell people to be safe, and I actually really like that about you, and that shows a lot of your character and also what who you're presenting. That's PAWChain, right? And
Mhm.
so I would say PAWChain is a great community from my interaction along with Brian. Great people, great chat. So go ahead and go to the Discord again and Telegram and see, how the community is. And I'm sure you're gonna love it. All right. PAWChain is very early. You are very early into PAWChain. Big things are coming. 2025, 2026 is going to be the bull run that PAWChain is gonna dominate. So check them out, my friends. And thank you very much for watching our live stream. The crypto box is out, it's fully out, right? So if you claim the content inside, congratulations. If you don't, good luck until next time. So thank you very much, guys, and thank you so much again, Brian. You've been an amazing guest. I wish you nothing but the best. And
Thank you.
yeah, take care, Brian. Have a
Take
great
care,
day.
everybody. Thank you, everybody.
All right, stay safe. Bye bye.